Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 17th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans have been very curious about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, there's one thing that is for certain here, is that of course, as of right now, Disney Star Wars is going under a major phase of really kind of just restructuring exactly how it's going to branch out to this new expanded universe, which by the way includes movies, TV shows, books, novels, comics, video games, and so on and so forth. That's really all going to be inspired of how the MCU works. So essentially what Bob Chapek and Iger want to do is that they want to make this new SWU, if you will, more successful than the MCU, and that really is going to be a big challenge, at least in my book, because the MCU has been around for over 10 years at this point, and has been very successful for a very long time. So it's all a matter of building it up, right? 2021 is going to be a very big year for Star Wars when it comes to all the new canon lore that's going to be introduced. Now, one big controversial subject out there for Star Wars is, of course, the new era that we have never seen before in Legends, and that is now being introduced into canon, is the High Republic era, set 200 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. So, this is going to be a big era that's obviously going under a lot of fixes right now. A lot of fans had issues with the general guidelines that Lucasfilm was developing for the High Republic era that we actually saw in that video a couple of weeks ago. So now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on the new Star Wars trilogy of films as well as the new Star Wars universe, where it's explained that currently Bob Chapek and Iger are currently working very hard with each other on developing a brand new Star Wars universe that will reshape and evolve the franchise for the fans around the world. Now, it's explained that many sections of the High Republic era are being rewritten by creators George Lucas, Dave Filoni, and even Jon Favreau, and other creatives over at Lucasfilm, where one thing that is being rewritten by these creatives of the big plans by Lucasfilm is to tell a story within the High Republic era that will introduce a story of Darth Plagueis that will become a part of the new expanded universe. Now, it's noted that Disney is going to introduce the official age of Darth Plagueis during his time in the High Republic era, currently in canon where fans only know the death of Plagueis. However, in Legends, he was born sometime between 147 or 120 BBY. Disney is said to be in a phase to introduce Plagueis as more than 200-something years old by the time of the High Republic era arrives. Now, it's unclear if Disney will explore the possibility of him being the Sith Lord he was during the time or a regular dark side user. However, the High Republic is set to feature a big story surrounding Darth Plagueis, and that creator George Lucas will be making key creative choices for the new story elements in this brand new era by Disney and Lucasfilm. It's explained further that the High Republic is going under many fixes by Lucasfilm in order to ensure that the Star Wars brand can evolve and survive while attracting new fans around the entire world. So, let me actually go over this, because the High Republic era is something that really did catch my interest until I did see that little chalkboard. I'm sure a lot of you guys actually saw that, and what Kathleen Kennedy's plans were behind the scenes of including dinosaurs and having no wars in these Star Wars stories, which makes absolutely no sense. All of that, thankfully, is being reversed, because now that Chapek and Iger are working closely together over at Lucasfilm and Disney, etc., they're really trying to reshape everything related to Star Wars. They're really trying to evolve it into something more successful than it ever was when Disney bought Lucasfilm back in 2012. Now, the thing about the High Republic era, this is basically their version of what the Old Republic was many years ago. The Old Republic was a post-Return of the Jedi idea by Lucasfilm, obviously set in the past, but the idea came after Return of the Jedi, essentially. And this really is kind of like the same exact thing that we are going through with now, is that they're introducing this new era that's going to be very different. Now, the Old Republic is still going to be a thing in the new universe. It's going to be another era. But this High Republic era is going to show us what it's like 200 years before the Phantom Menace. I also love the introduction of Darth Plagueis and how he's actually going to be introduced somehow, some way in this High Republic era. The biggest question of all, like I brought up a couple of minutes ago, is he going to be a Sith, or is he going to just be a regular dark side user in this new Star Wars era? Are they going to show us before he turned to the dark side? Whatever have you, that's going to be very interesting. Again, like I said, they're going to unveil all these new dark side warriors in this new High Republic era. That's, of course, one of the major elements that is going to be a part of this restructuring of the High Republic era by Disney and Lucasfilm. So, I'm honestly very intrigued, because the current canon by Disney, there's little to no knowledge about Darth Plagueis. We really don't know all that much about him. Unlike with Legends, we knew a lot about that character, because there was an entire novel about him. There were more books about him. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.